Well, hello, thank you for joining me today again on the Church History Trail. We're continuing here in the city of Edinburgh in Scotland, and we're actually outside a Christmas shop, the Nutcracker Christmas shop, as you can see. And of course this is still October, but I'm not sure if this shop's opened all year round or not. But the reason why we're here is we're going to have a wee look at a house, and it's this house here on the corner. Which is one of the oldest houses in Edinburgh, and of course this is said to have been John Knox's house, and it's reputed that he lived here for a short time anyway. And of course John Knox was the Scottish Protestant reformer of the 16th century. Now the visitor's pamphlet states that the house was Knox's home only for a few months during the siege of Edinburgh Castle, but it's believed that he died here. So, part of the pamphlet anyway. And although Knox's name became associated with this house, he appears to have lived in Warriston Close in Edinburgh, where a plaque actually indicates the approximate site of his actual residence. So if John Knox didn't live in this house, then he certainly would have seen it in his day because it was here. But he could have lived here. The house itself is one of the oldest houses in Edinburgh, as I say, mostly built in the mid-16th century, but with parts actually dating back to 1470. So quite amazing, isn't it? So I'm going to go with a pamphlet, and it says that John Knox lived here, and it's been known as John Knox's house. So there you are, it still is known as that. Now, ironically, when Knox was at the height of his preaching, the owner of the building was Mary Ota Ures and her wealthy husband, goldsmith James Mosman, who acquired the building actually in 1556 and set about developing the new home for themselves. Now, Mosman was a goldsmith to Mary Queen of Scots. He was over the mint, up in the castle, Edinburgh Castle. And within a few years, Mosman would find himself caught up in the religious turmoil of the times, because in 1573, following the surrender of Mary's supporters, Mosman was arrested, dragged on a cart from Holyrood, which is down the bottom of the hill there, and he was actually took to the Market Cross, and he was executed. So he was actually hanged. There's the side of the building. And he had previously lost all his possessions. He'd been sacked from his position as Master of the Royal Mint and charged with treason in 1571, and so in 1573 he was hung. So I'm going to take a wee walk over here. I'm not getting in now because I've been in before, and it's alright inside, but it's nothing to write home about, to be honest. So we'll get across this road. Brilliant, isn't it? Really looks the part. There you can see John Knox's house. Step 500 years into Scotland's turbulent history. Explore the story of Scotland's Reformation in this ornate 15th century building, associated with some of the most dramatic events in the nation's rich history. Discover the stories of John Knox, James Mosman and Mary Queen of Scots in one of Scotland's greatest cultural treasures. A jewel in the crown of Scotland's national heritage, and it certainly is. There you can see there, 1530. James Mosman, who I mentioned, the goldsmith. And then you have 1542, which is Mary, Queen of Scots. And then you have 1513, John Knox, to 1572. So there you are. So I'm not going in, but I'll give you a wee look in. So that's takes you to the shop, and then you buy your ticket, and then you explore the house. So I'm going to take you up the steps here. And I'll show you in here if I can. That there is actually part of the what would you call it, exhibition. And there you can see the John Knox house. So it says, beyond here is the world's end. I hope not. This is the halfway point of the Royal Mile. Downhill you can see Holly Road with Aberlady Bay in the far distance. Look uphill to St Giles Cathedral and Edinburgh Castle. If you want to read that, you can pause the video. And that's a few of the Bow port from the west, 1764. So right down the bottom there, you can't actually see it. You can see the bay that I mentioned there in the distance, but you can't see the castle. And I was at the castle yesterday, so check out those wee videos. But Holyrood Palace, which is also known as Holyrood House, is down at the bottom of that hill, and you can get the bus down and back up again. So where we're going now is that big far cathedral there, which is actually St Giles Cathedral. That's where John Knox was the minister. So this is where John Knox supposedly lived anyway, and that church up there, the far church, was his church where he ministered. So thanks for watching, and God bless.